Hello, David Paul here. Well, here I am in my tent late at night. I think it's about 10 o'clock at night or something. And I have my lamp on here, which I recharge during the day. It has a USB port which feeds my, I can charge my phone off it. And it runs off a DeWalt tool battery, so anybody wants to buy one of them, you can get them all on Amazon. Brilliant device. So it'll feed different types of mobile phone and so on. Well, anyway, this is my life at night. I've just had a wonderful meal. Cooked the meal, and I'm in bed now and all snug. And the weather's starting to get a bit clammy and damp and dark and a little bit cold. And wouldn't it be nice to have a hot water bottle? Well, sure enough, I have a hot water bottle here, and this just transformed the situation. So it's really snug here now. So this is the view I've got. I don't think you can see it, of the A-frame I'm living in. Never mind. But anyway, the main thing I wanted to do in this video was just point out this. And here is my wood-fired stove, this Quetcher thing. And I'm just finding a million uses for this thing, and it really surprises me. Let's turn the light on it. So it really surprises me how well it performs. It's not smoking much, so I can bring it near the entrance to the tent, and I've got the warmth of it radiating towards my head, and it's really nice. And yet the strange thing is it doesn't seem to use any fuel. It's very economical. There's a little log there which is about the size of a large Satsuma orange, and it's about to fall down the hole. It's a bit too big for the hole, but eventually I guess it will wear out and then drop down. But this is just amazing. It's just radiating away there like crazy. So I've cooked a meal on it, made a cup of tea, heated water for the hot water bottle, and if I wanted I could have a shower. You can just do anything with this damn thing, because all you need to do is feed it fuel, which is the same as any fire, but this particular one, it just takes so little. So I can close it up if I want. Maybe I'll do that. I kind of like the light of it though, and I like the radiation coming out, the heat. So maybe I'll not. Let's undo it. We'll open it again. So there you go. My ongoing relationship with this wonderful little stove. And tomorrow I have a load of wood, and I'm going to do a bit more work on the cabin, and I'm also going to plant those little trees, and then I'm all set for the winter. And then I'll just keep working on the cabin, extending it and extending it. Now, I did mention in a previous video about constructing this A-frame cabin. I said there's something I'll tell you later, and I forgot to mention it in the video. But it's a realization. It's something I know, but when you really see it in action, it's quite surprising. If you have a, let's see if we can get this on camera. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. So that's what I look up at. This pitch, I think A-frames, they're always too highly pitched. I think they should be equilateral triangles. In other words, the pitch of it should be 60 degrees. So I really like the look of A-frames from the outside, but I never liked the idea of them inside, because they waste so much space. And there's no way around that, or is there? Well, and doesn't matter anyway. Well, if you construct a building which has got two surface areas which are too large, you're going to lose a lot of heat through it, you know. So back in one of my locations where I live in the Philippines, that really doesn't matter, the fact that you lose heat. In fact, it's highly desirable. But with modern materials, in particular a carbon foam I'm working on, you know, that's kind of become not necessary. So previously you would have made like a log cabin or something, and you would have made it very small so as to keep it very warm. But now with insulation materials, you can get away with it, and you can have a large building with such a low thermal conductivity that you stay warm anyway. So you can have a really grand building if you want, but you got to insulate it like crazy. So anyway, the key thing that I realised is we're always told that these things shed snow and they shed water really easily. Well, of course, obviously they would with that pitch. And if you think of the converse situation, a flat top roof, which something I quite like. So you got a building with a flat roof. What happens there is that invariably you will get leaks. So if you take that as being an extreme, and then the other extreme being the airframe, well, what happens is, what causes those leaks? Well, you know, materials or holes or whatever, they have what you call a rain height. So like, there's a certain depth of water which will cause a leak, and it'll drip down. And if you have a small hole in the material or membrane or roof or tiles or whatever it is, and you don't exceed that height that's going to allow the thing to break away and drip, then it won't leak. The water will pass on by. Well, in this extreme situation of having roofs like this, you'll get the build-up of debris on the top and leaves and God knows what, and they will bridge the gaps. So I've discovered with this thing, this is an old tarp, and I'm sure it's possibly got a couple of pinprick holes in it. It just doesn't leak. It just does not leak at all. Okay, so it's not leaking. Well, in that case, I think I have a new design for my cabin, which is I should make an airframe. Well, the thing is, does it have to be, because it would be better if it was more flat and give me more space out towards the sides, does it actually have to be 60 degrees? Because if you choose 45 degrees, as you're going up, you're widening by twice the amount that you're going up. If you draw that out on a piece of paper, you'll see that's true. So if you went up 3 feet or something like that, taller, the thing would get 6 feet wider at the bottom. Okay. So maybe 45 degrees. So I go on to Google and I type in, is 45 degrees considered a stiff pitch on a roof? And lo and behold, anything between 30, 45 and 45 plus is considered a steep pitch. So eventually I will first of all build this at 60 degrees, and then I will open it up to the 45 degree angle, and that should produce quite a nice cabin. But when any of you who watch my videos about when I was working in Tallycut Island trying to build a cabin there, I was running out of wood, despite the fact I was sawing wood left, right and centre. So I ended up in the finish planting trees which were going to be supports, for vertical supports for the cabin when I build it over there. And I realise now that what the rule of the Baha'i Kubo rule, which is that you can just build anything you want, so long as it's you know, basic native hut sort of thing, Well, they also don't bother with if you use corrugated iron or the nice square-shaped roofing material, you know, which looks pretty. So it dawned on me that the solution to the problem in the Philippines, for me, to build a cabin for myself, is to simply build an A-frame. They're so easy to build. All you have to do is you stack the materials at an angle to each other, and now instantly you have shelter. Even though the end of this is open and the other end is open beyond the tent, you have shelter. If it rains here, the rain will not come in, it will pass on by here and drips down. And I'm also inside the tent as well. So in the Philippines, the solution would be to just get started with a few sheets, stack them up, and you've got this angled A-frame, and then buy more sheets as the money becomes available. So you build the thing paycheck to paycheck. Job done. And that's the answer. So when I get back to the Philippines to feed my trees, I'll put fertilizer on them and plant more trees up. I'm gonna layer the trees, I'm going to lay them at an angle so that they actually form an A-frame, which then starts to grow and gives me a base upon which I will put my sheets of roofing material. So that's the plan for that. And as for Portugal, I'm going to start making chicken coops, which are simply A-frames. The simplest, easiest thing ever. And I'll also make the chicken coops so that you can open them from the outside, get the eggs and whatnot, without having to actually go inside. So there you go. So let's see how my wee fire is going. Well, it's still running. It's still putting out heat there. And when that log drops in, it'll put out some more heat. But this is going to run for hours, so it's amazing. As I said before, if you put a flue top on the top of there, you could actually use that as a wood-fired stove inside of a tent. I have to make damn sure that everything's sealed though, which I will do. Might even, well, I don't know about welding a fitment in, but maybe something which bolts in to ensure that it's sealed, and then just feed it through this tiny doorway. An excellent little stove for a boat. Is it gonna drop yet? Nope. God damn you. Why won't you go down the hole? That is really bloody hot, that. Oh, I've got my hand in front of it. That's really... Let's see if I can do it. No, it's not going to go. I'm just going to burn myself. But anyway, that's really hot. So, Jesus be with you.